I recently watched this Tamil language movie called Raayan and really liked the movie. It's a typical commercial movie following the life of three siblings with the eldest one trying to protect the younger ones. But what I really liked about the movie is that it teaches us some very important lessons in leadership. So today I wanted to talk to you about what are the lessons in leadership that I learned from the characters and from the movie. So lesson number 1, patience versus definitive action. Patience is a great virtue until it no longer is. Everything has its time and place. There's always a time to be patient and wait for things to unfold. However, there comes a time when definitive action is the need of the hour. Patience no longer cuts it. And as a leader, it is our responsibility to know and understand when is it time to be patient and when is it time to take definitive action. The difference in both can probably be the difference between an average team and a high-performing team. Lesson 2, understanding competition before taking them on. So before we decide to take somebody on as a competition, I think it is super important to understand their strengths and weaknesses, what makes them tick, what makes them vulnerable, where it makes them vulnerable, and everything else that there is to know about them. You do that not only by studying them, but the systems and structures that support them. No one becomes big or succeeds at any level without putting in place, consciously or subconsciously, systems that uphold their success. If we really want to win them, specifically if it is against odds, it is crucial, absolutely crucial, to not only just understand them, but their underlying systems, support, and norms. Lesson number 3, the importance of having loyal advisors. Every leader in the movie has a small set of people who advise them on how to handle any given situation. The more important, more crucial the situation is, the more important the role of this advisor or the set of advisors is. The quality of advice they get from these advisors has an outsized impact on the quality of decisions made by the leaders, which ultimately determines the success or failure of these leaders. So it is crucial for us as leaders to choose these advisors with utmost care and ensure that we do whatever is necessary to ensure their loyalty. Being loyal to them is a good place to start. You can't expect loyalty if you do not give loyalty first. So lesson number 4, impulsive actions lead to bad outcomes. The whole story of the movie is centered on a character who is impulsive and how one of his impulsive actions lead to a chain reaction which ends with the character dead and in the process destroying a whole lot of things with him. So we all know the importance of being intentional about what we say and do as a leader. I've talked about it, I've written about it, and I continue to talk about it all the time. Being impulsive and too quick to act is the opposite of being intentional. There is no guarantee that being intentional will lead to the right action and right outcome, but you can bet that being impulsive and any action that results as us being impulsive will lead to bad outcomes. Lesson number 5. All of us have a predisposition to behave in a particular way in a given situation, or what people call tendencies. it is important for us as leaders to know not only our own tendencies, but of everyone else that is part of our core team. When put under stress, we typically react according to our tendencies. And knowing these tendencies beforehand can help us be intentional in whom to expose to stress, in which conditions, so that we get the results that we desire. This will allow us to play to our strengths and to our team's strengths, and to respond to stress in a way that not only helps us overcome the stress, but also come out better as a result of having experienced that stress. So in conclusion, all I would like to say is that while the plot of the movie is simple and straightforward, the way director of the movie unravels the story is noteworthy. The characters are distinct and clearly defined. The way the story moves is gripping. The screenplay is crisp. The editing is even more crisper. The cinematography is on point, capturing the captivating actors and their performances. The music by A.R. Rahman is, simply put, relevant and adds character to storytelling. While this movie is made for pure entertainment, I have learned a lot about human psychology, and at the same time, lessons for leaders were reinforced. None of these lessons are new to us, but the way the story has been told brought out these lessons really strongly for me. I would highly recommend the movie, and that you should watch the movie if you get an opportunity to do so. And not only stop there, but be intentional about what are some of the lessons that we can take away from having watched this movie. Not only this movie, maybe all subsequent movies that we watch. What do we learn from the characters of the movie? These characters come from our life, from people around us, from people like us. And so there is learning for us from any of these movies or the stories that we read. So let's be intentional about what can we learn from these characters. Sometimes imaginary, sometimes not so much. The more we learn, the more intentional we are, the better we get at leading people. Until next time, have fun.